fate should have died. I rule on earth. I win everywhere. God has come before. God has won me home. You're listening to Dominion Voice by Pastor Lanre, Ajanaku.
Now, I'm going to start thus today on a story something I went through. 2006, around 2006, 2007, in my office, I was financing a deal, a transaction, as a credit manager. And this transaction was a dredging transaction. Dredging simply means you take a dredger. A dredger is like a boat which is on the sea, on the water, and then you pass some equipment into it, and then you suck out sand. You dredge out sand from underneath the sea, underneath the river or water, and then you dump it at the site. And those sand is being sold. That's in Port Harcourt, River State. So I looked at all these transactions. I looked at the deal. I looked at the packaging, and it looked very, very good. It was a facility amount of about 50 million. It was a dredging deal. But one way or the other, I just lost one portion of excellence, which was I did not give close attention to details. Number one, in the proposal I was given, the person I was to finance, he wrote there that a dredger of 22 by 23 was going to be brought to the site to be able to suck out sand and put it and dump it at the site. But because I was not so much technically competent in noticing what a dredger, the size of a dredger, he brought a 16 by 18 dredger. So when he brought it, I looked at it and we realized that the capacity of that dredger couldn't suck out sufficient sand from underneath. We've done some soil tests to ensure that there was sand underneath. So he couldn't pull it. So at a point I realized the dredger was not working well. But just looking at the dredger, I couldn't have known what capacity it was. So I didn't know. The long and short of it is that the dredger could not bring out sufficient sand. And without sand being brought out, there was no way I could recoup the money. Now, to bring the dredger to site, we had to disburse about 5 million, which was a mobilization. So that means 5 million was going out of 50 million. And that one was not going to be recovered if the contract didn't pull through. The long and short of it is that the contract went bad. Number one, the dredger could not suck, pull out enough sand. And then number two, I also made a blunder. I was to get a financial instrument called a performance bond, which says, in the event that this job is not completely done, you will pay me back the amount of sand that I will assume the contract has been done, so you will pay me. So by the time the sand was to be sucked out, by the time we sell the sand, it was going to give us about 200 million. But the facility to get the sand out was just 50. So instead of getting a performance bond, I got a bank guarantee. And the bank guarantee just guarantees me the exact amount without interest that I disbursed. That is, principal only without interest. So I got the wrong financial instrument, and we got also the wrong equipment. So when the equipment failed, so I went straight to see the financial instrument. So when I looked at it, I realized I got a bank guarantee as against the financial instrument, a performance bond. So I knew, wow, this was wrong. This was wrong. And not only that, the company I worked with, it was the subsidiary of the company, the mother company, that I got the bank guarantee against. So it's just like myself and Tino say, okay, if I don't perform, Tino will pay. So who's going to pay invariably? It's still me. So I got a bank guarantee against myself. So at the end of the day, when it went bad, I said, okay, I'm going to call in my bank guarantee just to collect the amount, 50 million, less the interest, without the interest. And I realized that, wow, I just shot myself on the foot. But One beautiful thing was that for me to get that approval, I had to go through my risk management department, and all of us failed in that area. So when the transaction went bad, and they said, well, who is the manager? They said, okay, if the manager had lost this grip, what about the risk management? He said, oh, the risk management also, the ball also fell. So even to my group head, everybody down the line. So at the end of the day, but I took time to pray. Why am I telling us this story? It is a story of a lesson I have learned. When she was talking about failure, that failure, you learn something. I know without transaction, I did not only learn because it was going bad and I was looking for a way to salvage it. I learned finance, I learned engineering, I learned how to look at the soil. I learned a whole lot of things because it was actually going bad. That is, in every failure, there is something to learn from. In every failure, there is something to learn from. So when we talk about excellence, like we read in that scripture, excellence is always one thing adding to another, Today, when I talk about dredging business, people ask me, have you worked in a dredging company? I say no, but I had to learn those lessons the hard way because failure was tearing at me. So what are we talking about here? Excellence is not a one-day thing. When we talk about excellence in business, it's not a one-day thing. It's something that is progressive. And we all have to know that God is the origin of excellence. Amen. He is the one that originated excellence. When you look at work of creation, you will realize, when you look at the glory of God, you look at mountains, you look at seas, you look at the cloud, you look at the heavens, you look at even the flowers, how beautiful it is. You can see a total work of excellence. Even the aura of God's presence is excellent. So that means for every one of us, we derive excellence from who? From our Father. If truly I'm a child of God, you child of God, then the DNA of God is in us. Am I right? So if the DNA of God is in you, so that means there is a DNA of excellence that is in you. So that means we don't have any business with mediocrity. And we have to know that the excellence is a journey. It's not something we just get into. And I want you to know also that anytime you make up your mind to travel on the journey of excellence, you get criticism. People will tell you, oh, you're honest too much. Oh, you give attention to details. Oh, you are too finicky. That's what people will say. They oh, you are too finicky. But you have to know that excellence, as it were, it involves you improving yourself every day. Not listening to the critics. Not listening to what people are saying. Making up your mind. You just have to know that, hey, you may say excellence may be expensive. People say it's too expensive. But I tell you sincerely, whenever you embark on the journey of excellence, you attract things to yourself because excellence attracts. Excellence attracts. Initially, people will look at you and tell you, yours is too much. But you have to know that, hey, don't mind them. Just stick on it. On the long run, everybody will get attracted to you. Everybody gets attracted to you. Never be satisfied of the best of today. Because the best of today is not going to be excellent tomorrow. So we have to keep improving. There is always room for improvement when you talk in terms of excellence. The business you are doing today, the ministry you are running on today, whatever you are doing today, which looks best, is going to be the outdated of yesterday, of tomorrow. So it's important for us to know. Even the fancy car we drive, the fancy car of today, like you see in that picture, by the time you come down the road, you realize it becomes outdated and the old model. Look at that Volkswagen. Looks so beautiful. But I'm very sure that Volkswagen that looks so old, when it started off, everybody loved it. It was the in thing. But if you drive that kind of Volkswagen today, people are going to say, okay, you're just trying to be an old school. You know, it's no longer current. So there's always room for excellence. There's always room for improvement. She has defined excellence perfectly. But you have to know that excellence in business is what? Excellence in business, being an entrepreneur, in ministry, in career, in trade, in whatever you do, simply means an outstanding practice of managing organization that is based on fundamental values. Fundamental values. She's mentioned a good number of those fundamental values. Integrity. You keep pushing hard on this, that's it. That is excellence. It refers to you doing your best in everything you do. Never be satisfied with the status quo. Never be satisfied. You look at Dominion Voice, for instance, and I was talking with him yesterday, and I said, let's look at it. What else can we do differently? Oh, everybody comes in for the first and says, oh, it looks good, it looks serene, it's nice, the organization. I said, but there's something we can do better. And I keep thinking, what is that thing can we do that is doing differently? Do differently. And the same thing has to go to every one of us. In our office, go do something differently. The files on your cabinet, sit down, just look at it. How can I do something differently? The way you file your papers, you've got to look at it. There is something you can do differently. Even if you have to rearrange your office, you've got to do it differently. Your living room has been done in a particular way. As it is now, so shall it be forever. That couch is there. No. When you get home today, look at it. What can I do differently? Rearrange your couch. Rearrange it. Rearrange your sofa. Put it differently. Go into your room. Okay, it's always been this way. Come on, let me change it. It brings life into you. It brings life into you. It brings color into life. 2 Corinthians 3 verse 18 says, so all of us who have had this veil removed can see and reflect the glory of God. Now, and the God who is the Spirit makes us more and more like Him as we are changed into His glory. That is talking of excellence. It is glorious image. That is excellence. As we look at God, we are changed. So excellence simply means your business being improved over time. Over time. There is a more excellent way of doing what you are doing that you have to do. You have to find out, how do I achieve excellence? And as we are going, I'm going to look at 5 points here. And I want us all to look at this. It is extremely important we note these 5 points. These 5 points will make the difference in our lives. These 5 points will make a difference in your business. These 5 points will make a difference in your profit. These 5 points will make a difference in your family. In your family life. Because these are principles. Principles are laws that have been proven over time that works. For example, there is something we call the law of gravity. No matter how spiritual you are, you go to a skyscraper, you wear a parachute, you drop down, I can guarantee you're going to come down. Why? Because the law of gravity is in place. It's in place anywhere you are. It's a law. Anywhere you are in the world, in any continent you are, in North America, in Asia, in Africa, in Europe, wherever you are, whatever goes up must come down. But that principle does not exist. That law does not work in the moon. Why? Because there is no force of gravity. You can float in the moon. Why? Because there is a different law that is working there. But you know there is another law that's, for every law to be suspended, you must get a bigger, a more superior law. Now, for you not to come down, then there is another law that has to take place, which is called the law of aerodynamics. That is, you enter into your plane, the pilot says fasten your seatbelt, and we are going to go at this. You don't think of it, okay, what's going to happen? The pilot puts in speed, acceleration, directs the speed, velocity. It keeps improving the speed at the speed of about 120 kilometers, about 120 miles, 120,000 miles. What happens? The law of gravity is suspended and the plane takes off from the ground and it keeps moving in the sky. Are you there? Why? Because there is another law that has been put in place. Now listen to me. If the plane refuses to go up at that speed and it stays on the ground, the plane will self-explode. It will self-explode because there is a superior law that has taken place. Laws will always work. So when the law of aerodynamics take over the law of gravity, you find yourself in the sky. And if you break the law of aerodynamics and you stop that speed, what happens? I don't want to tell you what happens. That's it. You just go there. So these are laws. Number one, in achieving excellence in life, business, ministry, in any way, even at our home, excellence starts first with you. You cannot produce excellence if excellence has not been produced in you. It starts with your thinking. It starts with the culture. It starts with the tradition. It starts with the habits that you keep. That's where excellence starts. If you think in you that this is the best that can be, then I tell you, you're not going to improve. But you just have to be open. You have to be open. That's why the Bible says in Romans 12 verse 2, it says, don't copy the behavior and the custom of this world. The custom of the world is never to embrace excellence. The culture of the world is to stick and hang on to mediocrity. Because the world just wants things to flow. But you have to make up your mind that no, I'm not going to follow the custom and the culture of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing how? The way you think. The way you think. The way you think. Then you will learn to know how God's will, what's good, to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. The way you think. The starting point of excellence is you. It's you. That's the starting point. There is no short route to it. You have to first of all look at yourself. Where am I today? And when I say start with you, it starts first and foremost with the things you do when you wake up in the morning. What do you do when you wake up in the morning? What do you do? What's the last thing you do in the night when you go into bed? You have to look at this. Even when you go into the store, possibly to buy a few things, you have to check yourself. Oh, it doesn't matter, let me just dress and just go. No. Ask yourself, is this excellent? If it's not excellent, what do? Go back. Go change. Now I tell you, there is something that will revolt on the inside of you that tells you you're wasting time. You're wasting time. But you know what? The more you keep to it, the easier it is that you will conform with excellence. The easier it is in you conforming with excellence. So it doesn't matter who is looking at me. Do you want to know who is looking at you? God is looking at you.
Amen.
Because you are his child. He's looking at you. He says, hey, I'm an excellent God. I don't expect my children who have my DNA to be without being excellent. Look at the work of creation that God did. You could see excellence in it. God did not create man before he created the light. The first thing God said when at creation is what? Let there be light. Why? Because light is important. Then he began to look at the work of creation one after the other. And the last thing he created was man. He didn't create man and he started thinking, okay, what will man do now? Okay, let's go create light. No. Excellent God. God is excellent in all his ways. So, your mind, yourself, and that is a task you're going to give, and we give it to every one of us is going to task it today. When you go back home, let's act on it.